Pokemon Legend ZA isn't just a fresh take on Kalos. It could be hiding one of the most mysterious stories in the entire Pokemon franchise. I have to start off this video with Zygarde. It originally watched over the ecosystem from deep underground. It only appeared when the balance was threatened, and in Pokemon X and Y, we never saw it fully realized. It just hints of its cells and cores, which were scattered across Kalos. Remember Xerneas, Yveltal, and Zygarde, the Aura Trio? They were based on Norse mythology, which Xerneas would be the deer of life, Yveltal is the bird of destruction, and Zygarde would be like the serpent, who maintains balance and brings about the end. So what about the dog though, since the dog is mainly what we see in the whole game and the demo itself? Some fans believe it's inspired by Fenrir, which is the wolf designed to bring chaos a long time ago. If that's the case, Zygarde's dog form could represent the first stage of punishment, which is like the warning sign that balance is about to collapse, as we do know that Lumiose City is being redeveloped and it's in a state of construction because it has to be fixed, and there's been like a weird anomaly or some sort of occurrence that wild Pokemon have just been growing a lot in numbers, and we're trying to discover what the reason is behind that cause. So Zygarde is just watching as it's a legendary Pokemon and it really cares for its own Pokemon friends. So we did follow it in the first hour of the game as seen in the demo. It appeared in the trailers during the nighttime where they would be more danger. But what if in Pokemon Legend ZA, the dog form isn't just an alternate shape, it's actually the form that appears when ecosystems in Kalos are destabilizing? That could mean the city's new reconstruction is already triggering balance collapse, long before complete form even awakens. And here's the kicker. Since your character looks related to Professor Sycamore, maybe your bloodline has always been tied to studying Zygarde cells, which is why it trusts us as a trainer and sees us with big potential. It sees our aura that we're emitting. But a cool detail that I just realized is that AZ also shares his initials with Paldea's Area Zero. Maybe this could be just a coincidence or something deeper. Mega Shards and Cherish Shards do look kinda similar, like we see that they're both sparkly and very sharp. But what about Lysandre? If you guys played X and Y, you all know that Lysandre was a huge character that was like this villain. There was a leaked potential image of what he could look like. It shows him looking battered and having white hair now instead of the orange hair. He may have a missing eye just like Ghetsis did in Black and White. Some theories have said that Lysandre may have studied AZ's notes directly and even learned from him. If that's the case, then Tawny and Urbane, as planners of Lumiose's future, could easily be carrying out Lysandre's dream under a new name. They look similar in a way, and their red hair mixing with a little bit of orange. They both have blue eyes too. Even though we see that our rivals look way more outgoing and positive, and Lysandre is more of like a dark, serious person, you never know that, the most central people of the story, our rivals, they have to have some sort of connection with Lysandre, and Pokemon is slowly hinting at us in a certain way that maybe they might have ties or they might know of him in the past, since, he was this whole creator of the Ultimate Weapon as well. As a professor though, with Maple now has direct access to all the research and influence over all these trainers in the Lumiose. Imagine how easily she could take the scientific discovery in Kalos to secretly align with the Team Flare's old ideals. If Lumiose's reconstruction relies on advanced energy like crystals, Mega Evolution, or even leftover weapon tech, then having Maple in a position of power could mean Team Flare never really left. They just changed uniforms. But there's also a possibility, most likely, that it's just like Team Silene, the Team Galactic in Legends Arceus, where she looks stern and many people thought that she was going to be this whole plot twist villain, but Maple, just like Maple, I don't think it is going to be. She's just a chill person that's now been forgiven. Yeah, maybe she is really trying to redeem herself, but even then, what happens when her past catches up? Like she remembers something that is traumatic, and if Tawny and Urbane are secretly tied to Lysandre's vision, could Maple be a pawn caught between covering up Team Flare or just exposing it to the player? But let's not forget about Jet here. That could be the real underlying villain. Did you know that the new Quasartico building in Lumiose was built exactly where Lysandre Labs was in X and Y? The same Team Flare HQ where the ultimate weapon was activated. On top of that, I think that Vinny, the secretary, it bears a striking resemblance to Lysandre. His mouth expressions and facial hair is very similar. If he has blue eyes behind those shades, it's all but confirmed. Could he be Lysandre's brother or relative that wants to secretly continue the work that his relative started? And Jet could also be like this person that just basically collaborates with Team Flare. It's also worth mentioning that Quasartico is using all of Lysandre's tech to redevelop Lumiose City, and they are the company that is in charge of building these wild zones. But remember, they turn red and make people and Pokemon more proactive, so they could be the ones controlling everything behind the shadows. They're the reason why these rogue mecha Pokemon are even appearing. And this picture says it all. As I mentioned, to AZ's connections to Area Zero from Scarlet and Violet, the character Corbeau also has massive connections. He looks very similar to Kieran and Carmen. There's the whole general look to them, with them having the purple-black hair and yellow eyes. The building we see of him looks very Japanese-ish, and not really French, somewhat mirroring Kitakami, which is like a Japanese-inspired location. We even see bamboo, which Kitakami also has. And it would be pretty rare, right? Because Lumiose City is a French city, and out of all the things that they could have picked for Corbeau, they make the inside interior look very Japanese. The only Pokemon we see him use so far is Arbok. While it can be found in Kalos in the Scarlet and Violet, you could only find Arbok and Ekans in Kitakami, which is very cool. It's not in the Teal Mask. It's not in the Indigo Disc. Additionally, Kieran's grandfather also uses an Arbok. Their eyes both seem to widen when they get angry, and the trailer also depicts Corbeau as a menacing way, much like how the Teal Mask trailer did for Kieran. Corbeau is also a Poison-type trainer, and in Scarlet and Violet, we had a whole trio of Poison-type legendaries and the Poison-type mythical in Kitakami, which is Pokepicha. Also, since Kieran is from a Japanese-inspired region, and Corbeau is in another region, it could be a reference to how in Japanese culture, fathers tend to transfer far away from home and work in distant places, which is why they're absent from the house most of the time. And Kieran, and as well as Carmen, they both have clear emotional issues, which could also be the result of not having a father. So what do you think? Pokemon Legends ZA isn't just a story about rebuilding Lumiose City, it's a web of conspiracies and hidden agendas. One thing's for sure is that nothing in ZA is as simple as it seems. Drop your theories in the comments because every clue, every NPC, and every Pokemon could be hiding the truth. And if you think you've spotted something we missed, we need to hear it. The conspiracy is only getting deeper. Thank you guys so much for watching, and like this video if you enjoyed. I'll see you next time.